She walked in alone, no sponsors, no team, a plain black shirt and old pistol case. At Fort Kingswell, where ex-SEALs and tactical elites paraded custom rigs and streamed their swagger, she was marked as easy prey. They laughed. They placed bets. Odds stacked high against her, not if she'd fail, but how soon. But when the scores locked and the smoke cleared, the only thing louder than their silence was her name, shining at the top. Fort Kingswell didn't welcome the meek. It stood wide and sunburnt beneath the Arizona sky, a sprawl of steel frames, sandbag walls, sniper towers, and obstacle lanes baked under desert heat. Flags whipped in the crosswind, the stars and stripes snapping sharp enough to cut. The smell of gun oil and sweat hung in the air like static. Everywhere, the metallic click of magazines loading, the slap of palms against gear, the smooth mechanical slide of pistols racking back. The Tactical Pistol Challenge was the crown jewel of this place, an invite-only contest where ex-SEALs, PMC elites, and corporate defense golden boys came to show teeth. No amateurs, no wannabes, entry by reputation, not registration. And then Julia walked in. No team, no sponsor logos, no GoPro rig strapped to her chest, no slick tactical vest with morale patches stitched loud across the back, just black workout leggings, a faded long-sleeve top, and her hair tied low and tight at the nape of her neck. At her hip, a basic nylon belt. In her hand, a scuffed plastic gun case, cheap hinges dulled from years of use. The line at the registration table broke into smirks before she even reached the clipboard. "Lost sweetheart," one of them called out, not bothering to lower his voice. Another leaned over to the man beside him, loud enough for the row to hear. "Somebody tell yoga class the juice bar," on the other side of the fence. Phones lifted, quick flicks to record, thumbs already typing captions. Julia's eyes didn't flinch. She stepped up to the table, signed her name without pause, slid the waiver back toward the attendant. Not a word. "Name?" the attendant asked, though the waiver sat right in front of him. "Julia Ross," calm, level. He raised an eyebrow, double-checked the list, blinked twice, then motioned her through. Behind her, laughter, one voice louder than the others. "Hey, don't forget your yoga mat," the group roared. The sound of it bounced off the steel containers stacked along the perimeter, echoing. Up on the scaffolding, Mia tightened her grip on the camera rig, the youngest on the media team, still too green to step into these fights, but her lens stayed trained on Julia's back as the woman walked, steady, straight, unmoved. Discord betting threads flashed live on the second screens. Odds tallied fast. Julia Ross, solo entry, 0% chance to finish, 5-1 odds on DNF before stage 3. Hashtags started filling in. Participation trophy. Gun bunny fails. Tactical tears incoming. She didn't look at any of it, didn't check her phone, didn't lift her head toward the crowd. The first stage briefing began. Contestants circled the demo map, leaning in, names and handles stitched bold across their vests. Some posted selfies, throwing up 2 fingers, grinning into the heat. Julia stood apart, no gear flash, no buddy at her elbow, just the quiet weight of that plastic case at her side. One of the influencers, Jack Blitz Raymond, 200,000 subscribers, signature gold-tinted Oakleys, leaned closer to his livestream cam, voice dripping sugar. "Listen up, folks, the DNF pool's officially open. Drop your bets. I'm putting down 50 she doesn't make it past the second stage." He laughed real smooth, eyes never leaving Julia's back. A ripple of emojis floated across his feed, turtle nail, comment threads buzzing. "She gonna shoot or meditate. Can't wait to see this. Oof, somebody's getting humbled today." Julia shifted her weight, adjusted the strap on the case, rolled her shoulders once beneath the black fabric. No glare, no smile, no reaction. In the distance, a hawk circled above the scaffolds, tracing slow arcs against the brutal blue sky. The call came through the loudspeaker, first shooters to the line. Julia Ross stepped forward, alone. And Fort Kingswell watched. The warm-up range buzzed with noise, metallic snaps of slides chambering rounds, brass clinking sharp against concrete, laughing, always laughing. Julia took her lane at the far edge, where the sun cut sideways across the sandbags, and the glare off the steel targets could burn your eyes raw if you weren't careful. She set the plain gun case down, unclipped it. Inside, a stock Glock 19, clean but unadorned. No custom slide cuts, no Cerakote finish, just factory black. A small stack of plain polymer mags lined up like quiet soldiers. "Damn, sweetheart," one of the younger guys leaned over from the next lane, grinning wide beneath mirrored shades. "Did you forget your upgrades at home, or is stock plastic your idea of tactical? Another voice joined in, this one deeper, wearing rank like cologne. She doesn't need upgrades, bro. She's rocking the participation special. Phones angled, a quick burst of photos snapped as Julia loaded her first mag. Someone added a pink glitter filter to the image before it even hit the group chat. Mia, perched behind her camera up on the scaffolding, caught it all. The zoom picked out every rolled eye, every sideways glance, but she kept recording, kept silent. Julia checked the chamber, racked the slide, eyes forward. Hey, the young one stepped closer, holding out a pistol like he was offering a child a toy. Try mine. Compensator, fiber optic sights, might help you hit anything. She didn't look at him, didn't blink, just clicked the mag into place, stepped up to the firing line, her stance clean, no bravado, no flourish, grip locked tight, breath even. The first shot cracked, dead center. Second, same. Third, still. The laughter dulled for a moment, just a flicker. Then the older one barked out, beginner's luck, boys, wait till she has to move. Phone stayed up, clips still recording. Above them, the betting thread spun hotter. One of the admins dropped a new graphic into the Discord, the DNF bingo card. Each square labeled with predictions. Cries before stage 3. Gun jam. Needs help reloading. Accidental discharge. Quits halfway. Julia finished her mag, cleared the weapon, holstered smoothly, still silent. The call came down from the range officer. 15-minute break before the briefing for the next stage. Competitors drifted off toward the shade tents, laughing, sipping sports drinks, live streams still rolling. Julia stayed, repacking her mags with the same steady rhythm. That was when the empathy trap was announced. The event organizer, a square-jawed ex-Marine with a buzzcut silver as dry grass, called the group to attention beneath the main pavilion. The twist delivered with a grin. Teamwork bonus, gentlemen, rescue scenario. If one of you fails a stage, another contestant can step in, assist, and grab a bonus. Groans from the group. Nobody liked playing nice. The organizer clapped once. It's optional, but it'll cost you points if you turn down help when you're offered. Julia nodded once, said nothing. The first test run came quick. One of the flashier influencers, tall and broad, stalled out on a reload drill. Mag hit the dirt, timer still ticking, sweat dripping down his brow. Julia stepped forward, offered him a fresh mag without a word. He snatched his hand back like she'd slapped him. I'm good, smirked wide, turned toward his audience. I don't need charity. The crowd cracked up, phones spun back into action. Mia flinched, her camera caught the moment, Julia's hand still outstretched, open, unshaking. The influencer finished the drill badly, missed half his shots, but the footage that hit TikTok first wasn't of him missing. It was Julia holding out help, and him swatting it away like it was poison. Back on the betting thread, the odds stacked higher against her. Julia holstered again, no change in her face, no heat in her eyes. The desert wind kicked up dust around her ankles as the next round was called. And still she stayed silent. Stage 1 kicked off with bravado. Targets at varying distances, timed reloads, moving steel silhouettes, enough complexity to separate the train from the talkers, or at least that was the idea. The first few contestants played to the cameras, flashy spins, fast draws, throwing finger guns toward their livestream audiences before stepping onto the line, their names stitched bold across tactical vests, some of them sponsored, some hopping to be. Watch this, one of them winked into the lens, clean sweep first try. He wasn't wrong, his shots were fast, aggressive, but the last round pulled wide right, 2 misses, time penalty. The crowd cheered anyway. Followers weren't here for accuracy, they were here for attitude. When Julia's name was called, the laughter reignited, not loud, not yet, but a rolling murmur, phones raised again. Solo act up next. Place your bets, boys. Julia stepped into the lane without fanfare, no warm-up show, no words, just the steady sound of boots on packed dirt. Her draw was clean, grip tight, arms locked but not stiff. First shot hit, second hit, reload smooth, fluid. She moved low between barriers, piecing together each engagement with the kind of deliberate efficiency that didn't ask for applause. No wasted motion, no need for speed records, just precision. Somewhere behind the camera line, the the murmur wavered. A few of the spectators lowered their phones just enough to watch properly. But the betting group wasn't done. Jack Blitz Raymond posted a fresh clip to his feed. Julia's opening shots slowed down, set to circus music. Overlay text, beginner's luck or beginner's bluff. Emojis poured in, turtle nail. Above them, Mia's camera tracked quietly, zoomed tight on Julia's hands, the way her fingers moved on the mag release, the exacting speed of each press check. No flash, no waste, just work. At the staging area between rounds, the air turned mean. One of the younger competitors, slim, cocky, with a tactical hat turned backward, sauntered toward Julia's table while she knelt, repacking her gear. "Hey," he chirped, voice bright as chrome, "let me help you out there." Before she could respond, he reached down and knocked her mag stack sideways with the edge of his boot. Clips spilled into the dirt, rounds scattering into the sand. Laughter behind him, phones up, somebody already narrating, whoops, butterfingers. Julia knelt slow and steady, gathering each magazine, brushing off the grit, sliding the rounds back inside one by one. She didn't look up, didn't give them the satisfaction. The younger one leaned in, lowering his voice just enough. "Careful, sweetheart, dirt'll jam that thing right up." Mia's lens caught the whole exchange. She hesitated, finger hovering over the record button, then pressed it down hard. Across the competition chat, the bingo card updated, one of the squares filled with a grinning gif of the mag spill. But not everyone was laughing now. A few of the other shooters started noticing the pattern, the way Julia's gear kept getting nudged, the steady drip of passive-aggressive accidents, the silence she answered them with. The betting odds adjusted again, higher stakes, bigger bets on her failure. Stage 2 was announced, non-dominant hand shooting, lateral movement under time, trickier, built to shake loose the showboaters from the real shooters. As Julia approached the draw for handicaps, the crowd leaned in. Jack Raymond stepped forward, all smiles, holding out the folded slip she was about to pick. "Here, let me help you with that, lucky draw." Julia took the slip without acknowledging him, unfolded it. Worst-case handicap, moving hostage engagement, non-dominant hand, full mag change required mid-run. More chuckles, a few of the competitors exchanged high fives. "Tough break, yoga girl." Julia slid the paper into her pocket, checked her gear again, adjusted the belt. No complaint, no visible frustration. The heat rose off the desert floor like smoke. The line formed for stage 2. Julia took her place at the back. The cameras kept rolling. Stage 2 was where the blood usually started. Non-dominant hand shooting while moving laterally. Engage 2 steel threats, hostage silhouettes mixed between. 1 forced mag change mid-run. Miss a hostage and you're out. Miss the reload and you're humiliated on livestream. Contestants adjusted gloves, tightened rigs, double-checked optics. They knew this one was built to bruise egos. Julia's name still hovered at the bottom of the betting pool. Odds bloated, wagers climbing higher with every minute. The first few shooters played it fast. Flashy reloads, ducking low under the barrier swings, slinging rounds downrange with bravado. But speed came at a cost, sloppy trigger control, penalties stacked. Jack Raymond strutted through his round with an easy grin, yelling out shot calls between trigger pulls. Missed the hostage twice, but smiled for the cameras anyway. His livestream chat cheered him on, blinding themselves to the failure. Julia waited at the back, standing still. When the call came Ross to the line, the energy shifted. Phones lifted again, a few elbows nudged, eyes narrowed, hungry for the moment she'd fold. She stepped forward, no rush, took position at the line, checked the chamber once, thumb brushing the slide like a quiet breath. The signal dropped, Julia moved. Left hand steady, elbow tucked, barrel low as she slid sideways across the range. First threat, center mass. Second, double tap, tight grouping. She dropped the mag with a soft clink, the reload fluid as water, the fresh magazine clicking into place like it belonged there all along. Hostage silhouettes clean, no misses, no penalties. Her time not the fastest, but perfect. No words, no celebration. She holstered, nodded once to the range officer, stepped back into the shade. The murmurs started then, small at first, disbelief crackling like static across the line. Did she hit all of them? No penalties, none. The bingo chat thread stumbled for the first time, a single line of text breaking the rhythm. Yo, did she just ace that? But the bullies weren't done. Stage 3 shifted to a close quarters accuracy drill, moving target pop-ups, headshots required, speed mattered, timing mattered more. The young one who'd kicked Julia's mags earlier took his run first. Fast, sloppy. 2 headshots clipped the shoulder instead. Penalties hit hard. Julia stepped into the lane after him. Same stance, same silence. Target 1 clean, target 2 clean, mag change, pivot, last shot dead center. The leaderboard updated in real time, her name flickering up the list, bumping the influencers down notch by notch. Phones lowered, viewers lined in, even the chat comments slowed. Back at the tent, Jack Raymond's face tightened beneath his sunglasses, his grin thinned at the edges. But the next round was the kill house, where confidence came to die. Final stage, no flashbangs, no help, moving threats, hostage silhouettes in motion, unpredictable intervals, penalties doubled, time pressure brutal. The lineup shifted, names called one by one, each contestant moving through the narrow corridor of the kill zone, rounds echoing off steel plates, sweat darkening underarms, curses spilling from lips as targets dodged clean. The last 3 shooters missed hostages, 2 failed mag swaps, 1 jammed halfway through the run. When Julia's name hit the speakers, the range fell quieter than it had all day. No heckling now, just the weight of waiting. She stepped to the doorway of the kill house, raised her hands, check, breath, focus. The timer buzzed. Julia flowed forward, deliberate, smooth, no hesitation. Threat 1 down, hostage clear. Second target swung wide, she pivoted, caught the motion, tapped twice. Reload mid-turn, seamless. Barrel aligned before the mag even seated. Pop-up threat at the rear, late movement. Julia's head tipped with the rhythm of the motion. Eyes locked, trigger press calm. The buzzer called the end. When she stepped out, the scoreboard updated almost instantly. First place, 0 penalties, clean run, no one laughed, phone stayed down. In the gallery above, Mia exhaled hard through her nose, thumb hovering over the upload button. Her camera caught the last frame, Julia walking away from the kill house, sweat at the collarbone, eyes steady, expression unchanged. The weight of silence settled over Fort Kingswell. And somewhere in the betting thread, the DNF bingo card sat unfinished, empty squares, waiting for a failure that never came. It didn't take long for the news to spread. The leaderboard stayed frozen for nearly a full minute after Julia's final run, her name glowing sharp at the top while the others stood below, blinking at the numbers like they might change if they stared hard enough. Jack Raymond's livestream stalled mid-commentary, his voice catching as the score locked in. The chat beneath his feed shifted tone almost instantly, emojis replaced by clipped sentences. Wait, she won, no penalties, not one. What just happened? The betting Discord threads fell silent. Then the first screenshots leaked, the logs, the odds, the messages, a stream of clipped quotes, ugly in the light. $5 says she jams before stage 2. 10 on her crying before the kill house. Double or nothing, DNF guaranteed. The names attached to those bets were hard to miss. And Mia made sure they were. She uploaded the footage without a word, no editing. No overlays, just raw footage, the sabotage at the warm-up table, the helpful handicap swap, the mag stack kicked into the dirt, the smirks, the laughs, the bingo card. Followed by the clean, perfect run, silent, efficient, deadly precise. Clips stitched themselves together across the internet. Reaction videos bloomed like wildfire, side-by-sides of Julia's flawless performance and the bullies' worst quotes. Sponsors began pulling out before the sun even set. Emails leaked, statements issued. We do not support harassment or unsportsmanlike conduct. Effective immediately, we are terminating our partnership. The Tactical Challenge Committee posted its own update, disqualifications for rule violations, including evidence of sabotage and unsanctioned betting among competitors. Names disappeared from the roster, handles deleted social media accounts overnight. But Julia, she said nothing. When they called her name for the award, no cheering, no applause, just the hollow echo of the announcer's voice. She stepped onto the podium, accepted the trophy, and nodded once. The cameras captured every second of the ceremony, but what they didn't catch, not until Mia's lens followed her out past the gates, was the closing act. The sun had dropped low behind the range walls, casting long shadows across the dirt. The heat of the day still shimmered on the horizon, bending the air above the road like smoke. Julia sat on the edge of a rusted-out bench near the exit, quiet, alone, the trophy resting beside her, untouched. She disassembled the Glock with the same patience she had shown all day, slide off, barrel out, mag cleared, piece by piece laid down in order. Then from the side pocket of her bag she pulled out a linen cloth, soft, faded gray, the edges stitched by hand, the threadwork delicate but strong. At the center, embroidered in small, steady letters, Rise. She wrapped the pistol carefully, each piece tucked into the folds like something sacred, smoothed the cloth down, tied it off. Mia, watching from a distance, kept her camera steady. She didn't zoom in, didn't move closer, just stayed still, letting the frame breathe. Julia stood, leaving the wrapped weapon on the bench behind her. One last glance at the cloth as the wind stirred its edge, lifting the corner just enough to reveal the faint design stitched beneath the word, Broken Chains. She turned, walked away, no fanfare, no entourage, just the sound of her boots pressing into the gravel, fatting softer with every step toward the horizon. And Fort Kingswell, the place that had welcomed laughter and bets, stood dead quiet in her wake.